Okay, replacing the float gasket, what you've got is two pieces here. A rubber piece, and this is a Mylar, or not a Mylar, but a Kevlar, like you use in a Kevlar bulletproof vest. And these fit together with the Kevlar on the outside. This piece is a float assembly on the inside of the still. Okay. And this is on the inside. And you have to slip this into the hole, and then this goes through the float gasket on the outside. See, it's on here is kind of a rocker or a pivot, and this pivots up and down on the inside. And that's what you're seeing when I lift this up. Okay, on the inside here, you can see the arm across and where it's going through the float gasket. Now, when you do this, you want to watch for them. There's a stainless steel washer, not a conventional washer, but a stainless steel washer that goes on this first. And after you get it through the float gasket, the two of them, there will be another washer that'll sit on the outside and then comes on with the float actuator, which fits over the top. And we're going to show you how that fits into the whole process right there. This is where your 7/16 wrench comes in, and the switch plate, which holds the switch, both switches together. And that simply falls off and away. And this is your float washer. There will be two washers here that go in between, and the float washer holds this whole assembly into place. There's your float washer, as they call it. So in place here are the two gaskets, the Mylar, or the Kevlar, and the gray. Now, if you replace these, it's usually easier to take that float assembly off. In other words, take this out through there and take the gasket off. And you want to look underneath the gasket. A lot of times what you'll see is the gasket is kind of, looks like it's burnt or melted onto the tank. Take a putty knife first, or you can take some sandpaper and sand that down so it's smooth again and clean, so the gasket has a good clean setting on here. You'll notice on that piece on the inside, which you don't see in here, is a wrap of Teflon tape. Okay. You take a Teflon tape, I usually pull off about that much tape, and then you wrap it around the nut many times, but you put it right on the inside as you see it here. So what happens is you put the gasket and the nuts on, that gets squished down and forms a seal on both of these cases. Same way here. That's what you want to see. So once you've got this in, you put your washer on, the little one on the outside as well as the inside. You want to adjust these down evenly so they both have about the same pressure on them. And you don't have to over tighten them, but make sure they're good and snug. Okay. Now, and you're ready to put your switch plate back in place. Now this is where you lift one, push the other down. And the purpose for that is, I need to put back on place, is the float actuator. I like to get that in the middle when you screw it down tight with your hands. And then I'll take a pliers and give it about a half to a full turn to tighten in place. Now you see the one switch touches the bottom, the other touches the top. Your switch plate's back in this position. One thing that's nice with the Durastill units, you'll find that this assembly, the switches, the resets, the water solenoids, a lot of these parts are common to all the different models. So it's not, you don't have to buy separate parts for all the different distillers. Most of the parts are the same. The only thing that's a little different is the condensing coil, and if there's a difference in voltage, whether it's 220 or 110. Most of them are all in 110 units. Resets are the same, switch is the same, switch plate's the same. The bigger units, the floats are different. But on all of the home units, the floats and the float assemblies are the same. The other thing, if you get into cleaning or if you ever had a problem, this float comes off. So you can unscrew the float. If you want to take it out and clean it separately, you can do that. It's easier to do it when it's outside the still than it is inside, but they can be put back on inside the still. It takes a little dexterity to it.